Hey guys, G-Stars360 here. First off, apologize, fans. I did not get to see Thor: The Dark World this weekend, unfortunately. So yeah, you're gonna have to wait on that for who knows how long. So in the meantime, here's my Despicable Me 2 review. First off, I really enjoyed the first one. Thought it was really funny. Really liked the characters. Really liked the story. Not the story. I thought it was funny. I thought less of it when I saw Megamind, though, because that movie had a really good story. So second one came out. Wasn't planning on. I was gonna plan on seeing it eventually, but not in theaters. But I, I went to the movies with some friends. Some of them were seeing Monsters University, which I had already seen, and some of them were seeing World War Z. But I don't do horror movies, so last option were the couple people going to see Despicable Me 2. So I went to see that, and it was alright. Plot: it set Gru's recruited by the Anti-Villain League to track down a supervillain, and he's aided by this girl from the Anti-Villain League named Lucy Wilder, voiced by Kristen Wiig, who's his partner. And meanwhile, the girls want Gru to find a wife, girlfriend, so they can have a mommy. Film is fun. So, this film was not as good as the first one. It was funny, and I'll get into that in a bit. But the story is really lazy. Like, they had a bunch of funny ideas, but they couldn't come up with good story ideas. The plot is predictable and has numerous cliches. The villain is obvious. Most of the gags are really random and just filler. They don't tie into the main story and are just there to kill time until the film hits an hour and a half. I mean, the story they came up with was like 20 or 30 minutes long and could have just been a TV special, but the writers... But they just made into a movie for money. Again, most of the jokes random could easily... The movie felt more like a bunch of random Despicable Me shorts than an actual movie. And again, which I would be okay with, but the first film, most of the gags were incorporated into the main story. Same with Shrek and Shrek 2. Character-wise, Gru's still funny, the minions are still funny, but that's pretty much it. Dr. Nefario's back, but he's not that funny. I mean, he's barely in the movie, and when he is, they just reuse, like, the two funny gags he had in the first film. Sorry, my knees are getting tired from crouching down. Two funny gags he had in the first film, which are the fart gun and the slow-moving vehicle. Gru's mom, not even a line in this movie, which is a shame, because in a plot where Gru wants trying to get a wife, you think his mom would have something to say, but nope, she just appears at the end of the movie for the big "Let's dance to a pop song" ending. I don't think I'm giving much away by saying that. And new characters, not that funny. Girls, there's two. Agnes gets a couple funny lines in. The middle one, who I forget, gets a funny moment or two there. The older girl there, the writers, I don't think the writers could come up with anything for her to do in the main story, so they just wrote in this really dumb plot thing for her to do for like 10, 15 minutes just to kill time. It's not that funny, and it probably should have just been ran out of the film. I wasn't a big fan of it. You'll see what I mean when you get there. But it's just clearly them. They couldn't think of anything to do first, so rather than just write her out, they give her a dumb plot line. Visually, the film looks good, although it incorporates pop songs, which I'm not a big fan of. Redeeming factor of this film is that it's funny. There's a good chunk of there are a few times this movie I was actually laughing, and a couple scenes I actually thought were pretty funny. Thankfully, they didn't give away a lot of the gags in the trailer, which is good. They saved the best gags for the film. Again, I can remember a lot of gags, quite a few gags from the film that made me laugh, which is more than I can say for other comedy sequels like Hangover 2 and Scary Movie 2. And there's one really funny Minions gag towards the end of the movie in the final scene that most little kids won't get, but adults I'm sure will appreciate. And there's also some funny adult jokes. Like there's a scene, there's a mall in this movie, and there's one scene in the mall where Agnes meets Lucy for the first time, and the first thing Agnes says to Lucy, I thought I was being sick interpreting it the way I was, but it turns out that it was actually an adult joke, and I thought it was kind of clever. But yeah, overall, lazy sequel, kind of lazy. The writing not very good, and a lot of cliches and filler. But thankfully, it is funny. It does have a few laughs. If you're a big fan of the first Despicable Me or a little kid, go check it out. Or you probably have at this point, but it's funny. You'll get a few good laughs. It's not as good as the first one though. But thankfully, again, it's funny. It works. I would be a lot harsher on this film if the gags didn't work, but thankfully they did. But yeah, you did not. I don't think you need to rush out and go see this movie. I mean, check it out if it's on. Rent it. If it's on TV, check it out. But don't go out. You don't need to go out of your way to see this movie. I certainly didn't. I kind of came out of this movie wishing I had seen World War Z. And yeah. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Despicable Me 2. It was not Didn't really think that much of it. But thankfully it was funny. I'll link to my review in the description below. Just warning you guys, it's a little harsher than I've said. But yeah. So yeah. Those are my thoughts on Despicable Me 2. Comment below. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.